So, y'all, I just came to a profound realization about man and woman relationships. So, we have been duped. The stuff, we've been programmed to think that, men and women are supposed to be close and share things and hang out with each other, like you see college kids doing. No, 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 no. Out here in the real world, where people are about their money, man and woman relationships, it's a business. It is really a business, because I've been socializing with men who are heavily heavily business owners. They're about their money. Everything they think about, it's money. Time is money. And so everything is transactional. It is not what you think it is. Because the way that men view women, it's they're not gonna hang around a woman just to hang around her. They hang around her to get something from her. So they have to test you, and they test you by seeing what your boundaries are. And if you let's say a guy just asked me to go out of the blue, and I said, hell yeah, I want to go to this restaurant. I've been wanting to go to this restaurant. Now this guy is looking at me why is this girl agreeing to a last minute thing? Damn, she really don't value her time. Whereas I'm thinking damn, I really want to go out to a restaurant and be wined and dined, hell yeah. And that was just a moment I just coincidentally had a moment to go out. It doesn't mean that I don't have a life. It doesn't mean I don't have my own things going. But it just made me realize that wow, man and woman relationships are really it's a business. And I think it should be more regulated. I don't think men and women should be around each other too much, just having sex to have sex, or just having a bunch of kids just to have kids, because it creates chaos in the world. And that's why we have so much chaos today, because there's a lot of people that are walking around this earth who should have not been born, who should have not even gotten close. The sperm should have not even gotten close to the egg. And I learned this because I was learning about I was triggered. It started from this moment I was triggered, and then I was wait, why am I triggered? I genuinely don't care about the situation, but I reacted as if my mom or dad would have reacted. So I was oh my god, I got some work to do. And then I started doing the shadow work, and then boundaries came up. It came up about boundaries. I wasn't really taught how to implement boundaries. And when I actually learned, about boundaries and how to set them and how to enforce them, and it's kind of a test almost. And it's kind of a pass or fail test, boundaries. Because I naturally put up boundaries, but I wasn't super I'm not gonna ever, go out with the guy when I have the time to. Some people, that's a strict boundary for them. Don't you ever try to ask me out at the last minute. 9 times out of 10, I'm not gonna go out at the last minute. But if I have a chance to go out and I'm going somewhere where I genuinely want to go out, then I have said yes in the past. But to some people who are super strict on that kind of stuff, they would look at me as not valuing my time. But I'm just not like that. That's not a strict boundary for me. A strict boundary for me is more don't take me to a bad place. Of course I'm going to say no at the last minute if it's not somewhere grand or not a 5-star restaurant. That's my boundary. I go somewhere, I want to go to the best restaurant ever. And maybe I need to take another look at my boundaries, because if people, have this reputation about, oh, this type of woman never does that, or this type of woman never does that, then maybe I need to take a step back and be like, okay, you have to look at things from a man's point of view, because as a woman, we're like really laid back and casual about a lot of stuff that men just aren't. And if you are casual and laid back about certain things, that man will be like, oh, this girl, if she does this, then she might, I might have some leeway to do this. So I don't know how, like, I don't know how marriages even work, to be honest, because you have to have a lot of fight in you as a woman to constantly uphold boundaries, unless you just have a man who's like a yes man 24/7 that devotes his whole life to you. Like, I don't know. We need some insight on how marriages work. Because if you present a boundary and you present a consequence for a man crossing that boundary, is that going to be the relationship throughout you guys' whole life? You setting a boundary, him trying to cross it, you setting a consequence, and then that just repeats over and over and over. Y'all, that would drive me freaking insane. Like, I think that would toy with my mental health. Or do some people like enjoy that? Like, where do you find enjoyment of constantly putting up consequences for someone whose natural instinct is to break those boundaries? What do y'all think?